Hi, I'm Laura Covington from Bridal Spectacular. Welcome to Spectacular Weddings Live. We're so happy to have you join us for episode 2. We have some great vendors here to talk to you today about Las Vegas weddings. They have tips, trends. They're here to answer your questions. You'll be able to ask those questions live right in the chat. We're going to be talking about RSVP party rentals, Alligator Soup, Gagiano Studios, Spanish Trail Country Club, Events by Jenny, Makeup in the 702, Memory Lane Video. We are going to be talking about RSVP party rentals. Unfortunately, fortunately, actually, they are busy, which is a fantastic thing to hear during this time. So they could not be here with us today. But Joan and I feel like we are almost personal experts on RSVP. So we are actually going to tell you guys a little bit about them.
Things can be very stressful when you're trying to plan for an event. Everything, a wedding to birthday parties to business, anything, right? So it could be pretty stressful. So
that's true. And RSVP really helps take away some of that stress because they have pretty much everything you need right in their one warehouse as far as rentals go, and decor items too.
Right.
So when you are, especially if you're doing a backyard wedding, but also when you are getting married in a beautiful facility, they may have some items on hand, but not everything that you need, right?
Especially when you have a vision that you want to, follow and that you've been dreaming of. I think that it's great that they have so many different options that you don't have to go running around from place to place or online trying to figure out, like, what is this, what is that. They're so helpful, and it's very nice to go somewhere or call them and explain to them what you're looking for, and they have just all these options. So I love that about them, how helpful they are.
Yeah.
To really make what you're wanting to do come to life.
Yeah, and they have a beautiful showroom where they have samples set out, and they will also bring out samples of what it is you're looking for and kind of lay it out so you can get the vision. Because some of us are wedding planners and we can see everything in our head, and some of us aren't, and we need to visualize it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So you can go in, and I'm sure right now by appointment only, but to the RSVP warehouse and check out their showroom, see all their pieces. They have so many different chairs, linens, even different plates, things that you wouldn't think that there'd be as many options. There are so many different options. The arches, even silverware and cups. They have this amazing blue goblet that really adds like a pop of color to the table. So there's really just a lot to see and do with RSVP.
And the benefit also, I think, is, not going out and spending a lot of money right now. You're just renting. So, that being budget friendly is very helpful. Keeps the stress low. For sure.
My mom could tell you for my wedding, we drove to probably 6 different places in town, to the same store, to get enough of the plate I wanted, because they came in sets of 2, and each store had maybe 10 boxes in stock, and I had 114 people coming to my wedding, so we had to go to every store to find all these plates. When we could have just rented, and it would have saved us a lot of money.
And now you have a lot of plates.
And we thought, we'll be able to resell them afterwards. Someone will want these plates. Yeah. And we never were able to resell those plates. So we could have just rented from RSVP, and that would have made everything so wonderful.
And the delivery, the pickup and delivery also, the convenience of reaching out to a rental company and, having them bring in, and then after your wedding, they pick up.
Yeah, I know. And you don't have to wash the plates. They take them and they wash them. Yeah, no, they do.
I would have washed them.
The caterer just puts them in a bin, and then off they go.
Okay, I think that's just wonderful.
And it's a good connection for the rest of your life too, because I have used RSVP not just for my wedding, because even though I bought my own plates, I use them for just about everything else. Yeah. But I've used them for friends' weddings. I've used them for my kid's birthday party. They have these cute kid-sized tables and chairs to, really personalized parties for the little guys. So
we can all...
Yeah.
They're
there for, all your life events that you need something special. Having a Thanksgiving dinner and your table's not big enough, they got you covered. So And I guess we're going to get ready to have our first vendor on stage. Yay. So we're going to cut to a quick commercial, and then we are going to be meeting Samantha from Alligator Soup.
That's right.
At Spanish Trail Country Club, you'll find the winning combination of a beautiful venue with a team of banquet and catering professionals capable of achieving your standards for your special event. Surrounded by a beautiful 27-hole championship golf course and centered in the exclusively gated Spanish Trail community. The clubhouse offers a variety of spaces and ambiances to adapt and suit to your event's vision and purpose. All of the rooms have floor-to-ceiling sweeping views of the courses and its central waterfall, offering a covered terrace to further your experience of being in a country club setting. Spanish Trail Country Club is here to assist you in creating an unforgettable event.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments. Colored trees, your yellow leaves move me. Dancing roofs, your painted red shakes the room. When I get there, I'll let my feet roll. When I get there, I'll break in your arms, I'll lose control. When I get there, I'll know the answer. Let me know when I get closer. Winterland, you're my sailing ship. Guide me in when you head for your trip. Right out of this wicked black and into bright sand. Straight towards the warm sun and into his hands. When I get there, I'll let my feet roll. When I get there, I'll break in your arms, I'll lose control. Will I get closer?
Hi everybody, welcome back. We are on set with Sam from Alligator Soup, and she's going to tell us what they have to offer, which is a lot. So
Yes, it is.
I've been there.
Yeah.
So what does Alligator Soup do, Sam?
Well, so we are a full-service stationery boutique. We offer everything from save the dates to birth announcements. We do everything wedding related. We do a lot of in-house printing. We do table numbers, menu cards, everything. So Alligator Soup has really grown throughout the years. We've been in business for 37 years, and I just recently took over. So, you know, it's been fun. It's been fun to add some things to our list and just meet all the people. So.
Yeah, for sure. And what makes Alligator Soup unique?
So we offer a hands-on experience rather than going online and ordering. We get to meet with the bride and groom. We get to feel their vibe and what they're wanting for each of their event suites. It's not just a click and go. It's we help you with your font. We help you bring your vision to life, basically.
For sure.
And take the stress off.
People might not think much about that comment, like we help you with your font. But as a graphic designer, I can tell you there are like 5 million fonts in the world.
Yeah.
And it can be really hard to find like just the right font.
It is.
So.
It really is. Like even matching two fonts, because a lot of people like a script and a block together, and sometimes they don't match. So we help you with that.
You have to find the right script with the right block.
Yes.
Just like they found the right person to marry.
Exactly, yes.
Your fonts have to be ready to get married too.
Yeah.
So what would you say are your business values?
We value a long-term relationship with our clients. A lot of our customers have been coming to us for 37 years, and that's why we've been able to stay in business for so long. We want to help you with your engagement announcements all the way up to your grandchildren's birth announcements. That's what we really value.
That's awesome.
Is keeping that relationship.
That's really special. We feel the same way at Bridal Spectacular because we've been in business for 30 years, so not quite as long as you guys, but we're getting close. And I remember the first time there was a bride at our show that said, "My mom planned her wedding at your show," and my mom and I were like, "Oh!" We fangirled so hard. Like, that was the coolest moment. So I love that people come back to your shop time and time again for those baby announcements and wedding announcements and mitzvahs and birthdays and sweet 16s. Everything. And you name it. There's so many amazing life events, and the best way to celebrate them is with a stunning card.
Yeah, I agree.
I keep a box and I put Christmas cards in it and all those things every year. Yep. And it's something special that someone put effort into designing those for
It's a nice keepsake.
It is.
So yeah.
So how has the pandemic affected your business?
Well, it's been hard because we're trying to keep up with the governor's guidelines, so the mask enforcement, the social distancing, and in the beginning we weren't even open. So we've kind of just been rolling with the punches, fixing invitations where we can, where people are like, oh, the date has changed, or it's even postponed. So we've been doing a lot of work with trying to make changes where we can.
So were you able to actually make changes to some of invitations that were already printed rather than having to reprint?
Well, so for invitations that were already printed, we can't make a change to that, but we do offer in-house printing, so we've been doing a lot of inserts that say, hey, say our new date, or X, Y, and Z have changed, and it's been really great. We've been able to match the layout of their invitation suite that they had ordered previously.
Right.
And I think it's been pretty good. But some people even come in and they reorder their wedding suite. A lot of our vendors are being really great with working with brides and grooms who, have had to postpone their event because of COVID. So it's been weird, but we're kind of just rolling with it.
Yeah. And so how have you been able to guide the brides and grooms during this process?
Well, we've kind of just been telling them, take your time with this process, because people will come in and they say, okay, our date is this, our venue is this, and the next week it's changing. So we've kind of just been telling them, take a look at the proofs, take as much time as you can, because once those things are set in stone and printed, it's hard to go back, and we don't want you to have to reprint. It's an unnecessary cost, and we try to keep it as stress-free as we can. So
now, with the waiting comes, obviously, usually you would order your suites pretty far out. So are you able to kind of order those on a little shorter notice in order to make people be able to have as much time to be sure that date is happening?
So yes, we are. We still do our early appointments, but we just kind of you don't send your invitations out until 6 to 8 weeks before an event. So if we can get them to order 2 months before, that is plenty of time. And there's always rush shipping that we can do.
Right.
Our vendors have been great. They've been working with us, and they've been working with the brides and grooms. And as long as we have the information ready to go and they're ready to print, it's been pretty easy, honestly. Everyone's been really great and really understanding.
Well, you haven't told us about the shopping experience that is Alligator Soup, because it's not, the reason why I love going in there is not only do you guys make beautiful invitations, but it's also fun to go there because there's so much stuff, and cute stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. We've recently been trying to bring in some more updated, trendier stuff. So we have gifts for every occasion. Birthdays, bachelorettes, Christmas, everything, Hanukkah. So yeah, we've been really changing it up. We have coffee table books now and a ton of alcohol related stuff, which is kind of fun.
Mixology and
stuff like that. We have these really cool wine tumblers with bedazzled little charms on them. We have something for everyone, and it's really great to see people come in thinking, oh, we just have greeting cards and stationery, but they leave with a beautiful gift for their loved one.
So it's also a perfect stop if you're I'm going to a housewarming or a birthday party and I have nothing to bring.
Oh, yeah.
Just you can stop in and you can get the card covered, but then you can also find that little something.
A little gift. Perfect. It's candles, frames, cheese boards, everything.
And showers, too. I know I've bought a few cute things for my kids there as well.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of baby stuff, and it's so stinking cute.
Do you like babies?
Yeah, the baby fever.
Well, before I keep talking at you, do we have any audience questions, Miss Jo?
One of them, of course, was how far in advance do you order your invitations?
So just in case, what is your magic number right now?
Right now, I would say come in 3 months before the event, and then we'll get it ordered probably a month later, and you should be pretty solid. 2 months before is pretty solid.
Okay.
And what would your recommended time be if they are doing a save the date or resave the date? Can you give us two of those?
So save the dates are kind of tricky. It's not something that you necessarily have to do. It's something that people like to do. So the time frame on that, there's really no guidelines to that. As long as it's not, you're sending it right before you send your invitations, 6 months before is fine, I think. I even have people come and do it 4 months before. So
Well,
it
and they
really
could
just
possibly even just leave the date off right now and just make it an announcement of we're
Exactly.
engaged.
Mhm.
That way, once again, then you can still send it early, or send it right after the engagement, but
Yeah.
not necessarily lock yourself into a date that could theoretically change.
Exactly. So it's really a personal preference. There's no right or wrong reason or right or wrong time. But for resave the dates, I'm recommending waiting until you have that solid date. Again, with a no time frame for before or after the date. But
Well, it's
yeah.
nice to know you're being flexible with
Yeah.
kind of like the timeline, whereas I know before all this happened, there was kind of like, okay, you really need to order this far out, and it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get them, and it's great that you can kind of move that timeline up.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to at least. So.
I know it's difficult because
Yeah.
they do take time and effort to put all those together, especially when, tell us, what are all the different things that are sometimes in like a complicated invitation?
Oh my gosh, so your basic wedding suite is an invitation, your RSVP set, and sometimes an accommodation card, which is if you have a block of rooms reserved or even directions or dietary restrictions, stuff like that.
Like where it says, okay, you have the option of like chicken, beef, or fish, or
Yeah,
let us know if you have any allergies.
Yeah, so that's usually on the RSVP set if you're doing a plated meal.
Mhm.
But I find the most that I get people doing is an extra card, not necessarily an accommodations card, but more of like a reception card, especially if the reception is in a different place than the actual ceremony. But yeah, we do it all. We can do as many inserts as you want. It depends on how much information you have. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there one more?
Yes, there is. So if they're looking for a special gift like a mother of the bride
Mhm.
or a bridesmaid gift, what would your recommendation, what are like two of the top things that you would recommend that I'm looking at inside Alligator Soup?
Okay, so for mother of the bride, I would say you definitely want to do I would do at least a nice frame with a beautiful picture of the two of you inside of it. As far as bridesmaids or your bridal party, we can get crazy.
But you did say you had lots of drink paraphernalia.
Yes, exactly. So we do have that. We have these little mini emergency bridesmaids kits, which are really cool. Little pouches that you can put whatever in that say bridal party. And we even have greeting cards that are funny and maybe even a little vulgar, but great to give your bride, even for your bridal party to give you. So we have a lot. We have a lot.
Well, that was a lot of good information. I think we've gotten a good idea about the shop, and you have so much fun stuff in there. We have some examples up on the screen of some of your work that you guys have done in the past. We had fun working with you for one of our photo shoots recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and menu cards. When would people generally order menu and programs, things like that?
So menu and programs, it depends on how you want it printed. If you want it to match your suite, I would say order it at the same time as your invitation suite, just to save on that shipping cost. Save a little here and there. But we can do it in-house, with a couple days notice. It really just depends on how many and what you're looking for.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all the details, Sam. Check out, we have their information, their contact info. Go to alligatorsoup.com, visit them in the shop. Are you doing appointment only right now, or can they walk in?
You guys can pop in. Sometimes we have people there already, but I do recommend giving us a call beforehand just to make sure we have someone help you.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and then we will be back with Gagiano Studios.
The Lovings didn't know that it was a crime for a white person to marry a Negro in Virginia. They found out the hard way.
I think that marrying who you want to is all right, that no man should have anything to do with. the 4 words etched onto the front of the Supreme Court, equal justice under law, apply to us too.
Legalizing same-sex marriage across the land, and it's profound. The 5-4 vote, in many ways reflecting the huge societal shift of the last 20 years.
The first look, the moment a bride and groom see each other for the first time. Not only did the groom get the first look, but so did thousands of others marching for justice.
Hi everybody, welcome back. I now have Ella Gagiano Studios on set with us, so let's charge right into it. Tell us about yourselves.
We're Ella Gagiano Studios, and we do a lot of wedding photography, also wedding videography in Las Vegas, and then we also have the most beautiful studio in Town Square, Las Vegas, where we offer other services like newborn photography, boudoir photography, and yeah, we love this community of Las Vegas
And weddings, and I'm just guessing here, not like I know you, but you're Ella.
Yes. A little nervous, but yes.
And we have Sammy.
Yeah.
And so, you do a lot of different types of photography, but also, of course, you do wedding photography.
Yeah.
So, what is your style for wedding photography?
I think our style will be described as very elegant, very creative, but we also do cater a lot of our stuff based on our clients' needs.
Indeed, yeah. So you're flexible then, which is great.
Yeah.
And we have some examples on the screen of some of your couples work, and so you can get photos of the couple before the wedding, during the wedding, after the wedding, get that whole suite of the we're getting married.
Yeah. But I think the most important thing for us is we really get to know our clients. Mm-hmm. So it depends on. It's not so much, even though yes, our style is very elegant, very creative. Those are the words I'll describe it by. But it's also who are our clients? What is important to them? What is their love story? So I think we very much custom our experience for our clients based on who they are, based on their needs.
So, and what do you feel like you've been doing lately to be creative with the weddings or your clients that you're dealing with right now?
So lately, again, our studio offers more than just wedding photography. And I think for us, the idea is that we love our clients and we want to keep our clients forever. And yes, we want you to come back to us, even though with the wedding industry, we want you to get married once, But that being said, we had created obviously family photography, boudoir photography, all the other genres, because our clients, we find that after they love us and fall in love with our work for wedding photography, they're like, Ella, can you photograph our baby? Yesterday we had a client say that her children are teenagers. It's oh my gosh, you guys are going to photograph my children. And I was like, I'm going to be old by that time. I was joking, right? But the idea is we want to keep our clients because we love them.
Yeah.
So even though, yes, our style, like you say, is we do tend to focus on the creativity, it's more about the client experience. That's much more important for us about who you are, who are you to each other, and what's going on in your relationships.
I feel like it's also creating the long term, not just what she said, but it's knowing the milestones. So when our clients come back, it's we know what they went through trying to get pregnant, what that child means to them, what that child means when they're 1, when they're 2, when they're about to have their second baby, and then we understand now all those emotional things. So when they come in and we do these photos, we understand their needs, not just, I don't think it's just about the posing, which, is important, but it's wow, you went on a big journey with having just through a marriage. I remember specifically,
I wish I had it now, but you have that beautiful photo of the baby surrounded by all the IVF.
The IVF, yeah. And that was really just important, that journey.
Yeah. And Ella did do 8-month pictures of my firstborn, and he peed on your props.
Yes, I remember.
No, that's wonderful. But right now, you've been focusing a lot on boudoir.
Yes. And so what has happened is obviously with coronavirus, so many of our weddings got postponed, especially our big weddings. And so many of our clients were just devastated. It's they have to replan a wedding. And again, all the conversations we're having on the couch right now. And it was, what can we do for our clients right now to help them through this process, to make them feel better? So even though we've always done boudoir photography in the past, we just really focused on it.
Yeah, and we do have some examples on the screen as well, showing kind of what you've been up to.
That's what we've been up to. But again, it was how do we make our brides just feel comfortable? How do we help them to just get that funk of coronavirus, shake it off? And boudoir photography is such an empowering experience. It's such a it's just one of the most beautiful experiences. So
I just feel like, just talking about the funk of Corona, I feel like, in my experience, my sister is about to get married, right?
Oh,
and it's
yay.
been a stressful experience for her, I think, her in some ways, because it's like, are we pushing this back? Are we doing this? And everybody's so focused on their wedding, and they're like, I'm about to marry the love of my life, and now is this happening? Is this? Where are we going?
Right.
So Boudoir offers that thing to say, listen, you guys are still in love. They love you for more than just, the wedding day or the moment leading up to it. It's all these things, and I think it's about creating that excitement, again, to say, there is so much more than all the things that it's love, it's confidence, it's just empowerment. So it really carries it through.
And I like that you have been focusing on more than one reason to do it. Like when I did do a boudoir shoot as a gift for my husband for our wedding, so 10 years ago. But I've seen you posting about it on social media, and it's not necessarily about that. You've been talking about women's empowerment. So who should do a boudoir shoot? And why?
Well, I feel like who should do it and why kind of go hand in hand, right? Is who should do it? It's everybody. You should, how do I put this? Is I think a lot of times when people are probably tuning in and being like, well, I'm not pretty enough. It's been Corona. We've all gained weight, right? Well, some people haven't. But I have, and I think other people have. They go, well, I don't feel sexy. I don't do this. I just want to wait. And it's like, but you are who you are now. And especially for all our brides out there, it's like you are about to get married to somebody who loves you when you wake up and you look this way, or because of you do this or this. And it's just like, you do it because you want to feel something, right? Some people go, I want to feel sexy. Some people go, I need to feel empowered. I've been working my butt off, not about working out. Some people it is working out, but building a business, doing all this stuff. And I still don't feel like I don't feel confident in who I am. And to say, I am coming in and owning who I am and not expecting me to be perfect, but loving myself for me, it's life-changing. Because, I mean, you about knowing with Missy, sorry, I just named names, like how she enjoyed that experience before she even saw the photos. So,
right.
It really is an empowering experience. And again, it was born in the fact that we just wanted to give our clients something that was positive.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy nowadays to just go in a negative mindset. During Corona, I always say the most biggest thing I do every day is just protect my headspace, because I want to be positive, but I want the same for my clients. So,
For sure.
yeah. So, and again, it's for every woman. It's not just for beautiful models. It's every woman can feel sexy. Every woman is strong. Every woman can be empowered.
Yeah, and it's, like you said, like you don't have to be skinny. You know, I was skinnier than I am now when I had mine done, but I was not skinny, and I've been thinking about it currently too, because my husband makes me feel so beautiful. And I feel good when I look in the mirror. But I don't know that I see what he sees, but maybe doing a boudoir shoot could help me see what he sees.
But because
because it is about, I want to see myself the way he sees me.
But it's not just that. That's what for us, it's like, I'm going to call you, right? Like we call them discovery calls, right? Before, so you book with us, I'm going to call you. Find out what you love about yourself first. Then I want to call your husband, and I want to say, what is it that you love? And most people, I think, they go, oh, the legs, the butt. And it's like, no.
I do like my legs.
But it's not just physical.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? When she wakes up in the morning, she smiles at me. That's my moment, because it gets me through my day. Or when she comes home and she's tired and we just have to do all these things, it's like we find out it's those personality traits. Because I think when people look at you, they look at your soul. They look at who they fell in love with, and that changes how much they love your, I think, physical form, because I think that's the first instinct, is boudoir is about physical form.
Right, but it's not.
But for me, the way I describe it is your body encapsulates your soul. And so when we capture that, it's like we capture the things that they love about you, because that's you. Maybe the way you look at them, the way you give that eyes in that moment, that just makes them feel like seen and loved. And it's like, it's so much heavier. And then now you can see that every day.
And that goes for the same for our wedding clients, because yes, we still do weddings too. But we do, again, our studio is not a cookie cutter studio. Our studio is really a custom experience for our clients. So the same with our wedding clients, we'll call them. We'll find out, what do you love about each other? What is your relationship at this moment? What are your dreams? What are your desires?
Yeah.
So we really get to know our clients. It's not like, hey, we are here today and we're going to rock this wedding. Also, again, about creativity, a question you ask us, sure, we are very good photographers. We understand light, we understand posing, so we can make the most beautiful photography that is out there. But what is important to you as our client? That's what it's important. So again, it's really for us to get to know our clients, either that wedding or boudoir.
But for the wedding inspect, I think something that I love about is we call the parents too. Oh. It's like we call the best friend. We call everybody, because your wedding day, yeah, maybe it is just about the two of you, especially right now if you're doing an elopement. But if you're doing something where it's like, maybe you haven't seen those family members in a while and they've been looking forward to this, and you go, my dad's gonna cry. And I haven't seen him cry. I've never seen my father cry, and I want to see this. It's like we make sure we make time for that, because maybe that's the most important thing in your life. Like, other than getting married, it's my father has been waiting for this moment, and for him to finally say, I love you, and all these emotional things that happen on wedding day, 'cause they happen, right? It's like we get to know those, so we find out how important it is, and not just say, okay, let's just find out in the moment. So,
That's good. Yeah, I mean, and that helps you know what moments need to be captured too in advance. So that's really good.
Yeah, especially what is important to our clients. Yeah.
And since we're in what you do offer, for your images that you do capture, such as the special, boudoir shoots, the special moments you may catch between a father and the bride, or the mother and the bride. Yeah. Can you share what you offer in regards to photo albums and
absolutely.
canvases, wall art? The special gifts.
That is a big question, because we are a product-based studio, and we, as people have legacies, we all have a legacy we want to leave behind in life. So for us as photographers, we talked about it, and we said our legacy for you is for your love story to live in your house, for your family's love story to live in your house. So it's a really big concept. That being said, we have albums included in all our wedding collections. We also offer a gift certificate towards wall art in every single one of our wedding collections, because again, our legacy for our clients is that your love story lives on wall art in your house. Your children's love story is represented in your house, so that when your children grow up, they see how much mom and dad loves each other.
Yeah.
They see how much mom and dad loves us. If your son goes off to college and he comes back home, he still sees those photos. So that is our studio's legacy, and that's why we do offer digitals. And yes, digitals are included in all our wedding collections, but we're a product-based studio, and that's why.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks Ella and Sammy for being here and telling us all about wedding photography and boudoir photography. We are going to cut to a quick commercial, and then we will be back with Meg from Makeup in the 702. Hi everybody, welcome back. I am here with Meg from Makeup in the 702. And first off, before I introduce her, I want to say her team did my hair and makeup today. Yay. And I am super happy about it, because I guess the thing that I immediately felt about it, and my friends who are here that know me really well, is the hairstyle is very me, but more glamorous. And the thing that's perfect about that is that's kind of in line with Makeup in the 702's kind of tagline. So what is that tagline, Meg?
It's me, only me on my most beautiful day.
Yeah, me on my most beautiful day. So
Yes.
that is exactly what this hairstyle entailed for me. And the makeup too was really good, because I don't wear a lot of makeup. So I'm always nervous that it's going to be like too much and I'm going to think I look weird, even though I'm sure everyone else thinks I look beautiful. But it was just perfect all the way around, and I wanted to say thank you so much to the Makeup in the 702, I can't talk, team for that.
It is our pleasure. And so we have 5 hair and makeup teams. And today, Steffi and Jeanette did your hair and makeup. So they're one of our fabulous teams, and you can see their Instagram as well, and their body of work. But you're right, it's you just on your most beautiful day. And what's funny is not only was that the first thing you said to me today when I walked in, but you also said, you were walking different. Oh. You had a little spring in your step that I don't always see. Not that, you're loofy or anything, but you were literally like gliding. I'm gliding here kind of thing. And I thought that was cute.
Good.
So, and even your mommy said you look great. And that means a lot. So, and this is your special day because you're here hosting all of us. So it doesn't have to just be a wedding day. Kind of like Ella said.
Right.
It's about the woman.
We need to feel special and empowered all the time because we are.
You bet.
Well, tell us a little bit about Makeup in the 702 before we go plowing into our questions here.
Absolutely. So we will be entering our 20th year here in Las Vegas. We service all of Las Vegas, Henderson, anything in the Clark County-ish area. Again, I mentioned earlier that we have 5 hair and makeup teams. And that really sets us apart from just, a freelancer or someone who's doing this part-time. Mm-hmm. This is what we do full-time 100% of the time. So not just weddings. I would say the majority of what we do is weddings, whether it's large, small, elopement, mini-moni. But we also do headshots and we do boudoir photo, family photos, and right now we're doing a lot of senior photos. Because senior session is right now. So,
oh my gosh, yes.
Yep. So this is what we do every single day, full time. All of our artists and stylists are licensed, which is so important that every client knows, who you are and what you're doing. Just like if you were going to have someone serve you food, you'd want to make sure they were health board certified. Well, as we are. So that's important to know. And I got to tell you, Laura, I'm absolutely so excited to tell you how very, very busy we are this fall.
That's fantastic.
It's been just a...
Busy news is the best news.
It really is the best news. And certainly I would always be here when you asked me to be here. And thank you so much. But, starting in August, we really started picking up. There are a lot of people coming from all over the country. I'd like to say world, but we're not quite there yet. Soon. All over the country that are coming here to keep their original dates. So they're eloping or they're coming here to start planning their 2021 weddings. So they're doing their trials. Oh. And then we have all of our fall brides that we've been praying and holding out for them for months and months and months and months. And I'm doing their 30-day out confirmations and their 1-week confirmations.
Yay.
We're doing these virtual high fives. We're doing it.
I'm so glad we're not canceling or rescheduling weddings anymore. That's fantastic news.
We've definitely turned a corner. I can't predict the future, neither can the brides. But what I want everyone to know is, because it's a question that I'm asked, is what if my wedding gets postponed? And,
right.
This is a planning 2021 bride. What if it gets postponed? We're going to work together because we don't know what is going to happen or not going to happen.
Right.
But I'm so grateful and so blessed to know that there's so many of our clients that are not only persevering forward with their original plans, they're flocking here to the wedding capital of the world.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yes, to get married. And they're doing things fast and quick. So these mini-monis, they're popping up within 2 weeks.
Okay.
So don't think that you can't come here because you don't have these big long-range plans.
Right.
So
for sure.
We've kind of got these 3 big clienteles going on right now.
Now, are you mostly doing brides, or are you seeing the whole the whole wedding party right now as well?
It's a great question. So certainly, if you're coming here to elope, elope means something a little different than people think. It's not always just the bride and groom. Sometimes it's bride and groom and, a handful of friends, so on and so forth. So either way, an elopement is 1 to 2 people is what I'd like to say. But again, fall, and all of our fall brides that have held out this entire time, these are 5 to 10 person parties.
Okay, awesome.
So we do a lot of hair and makeup September, October, and November.
Now, if you are having a full wedding, why is it important to get your bridesmaids' hair done too? Or even possibly, the gentlemen as well?
You bet. Ooh, good question. So let's talk about the bridal party first, and then I do want to talk about men's grooming because when we talk about turning corners, that has really come full circle around. So for bridal parties, I always assume that there is a bride, 2 moms, and at least a maid of honor. So that's 4.
Okay.
And then there's bridesmaids. So I like to gauge and say at least there's going to be 4 people, because those 4 people are going to be, and I'll just use this as an example, in a group photo.
Right.
So.
And how fun is that group photo?
Thank you. The confetti forever. Just FYI, in case you do that anytime.
You'll be cleaning
It's
confetti
fun,
for the rest
fun,
of your
fun,
life.
but rent a hotel room and let them clean it up, because it's something else.
They don't charge extra for that, do they?
Maybe. We cleaned it up. But so when you look at this group photo, for example, certainly we're all hair and makeup artists, and this is our team. The reason that professional hair and makeup, it's kind of one of these kids is doing his own thing if there's only one person out of the group that gets it done. Now, let's just say I'm the bride right there in the middle. Okay, you could see because I'm the star if I'm the bride, and I should look this way. But every single other person, we're pretending like these are bridesmaids, is just as important in that party to the bride.
Right.
Oftentimes, it's a special, special treat that you can give to your bridal party. So if you're asking your bridal party to buy the dress, buy the shoes, plus a gift, and travel, and hotel, and accommodations, and don't forget the bachelorette party, and on and on and on.
All these costs.
Yes, you really are asking a lot of that bridesmaid, and they're more than happy to do it. Trust me. They're your girl, they're your homie. They want to do that. But how wonderful is it that you're giving them the gift of beauty? That way you all that morning aren't fighting with a brush and an iron, and your skin that won't, has blemishes and won't take the cover up right. You guys get together and you open champagne and you have a great big party in the hours leading up to your photos and ceremony.
You all get to feel confident and amazing.
Absolutely.
But also the photos.
It is. And number 2, I was just going to say that. And a photographer told me this many, many years ago when they did 35 millimeter. They told me, and it still is true
that's
today.
Film,
yes,
in case
that's
people
film,
don't know.
you guys. They told me that the reason as a photographer that they thought it was so important that every single member of the wedding party who's going to be in the photos the majority of the time, so that's the 2 moms plus your maid of honor and then anybody else in the party, is because in the photo, if everyone doesn't have professional hair and makeup, it shines through and there's no amount of editing that they can do. When the hair of one person, you and I, are very professional looking, and then you've got the limp curls of somebody else, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And when your bridesmaid sticks out, that detracts from you in the middle of the photo. So you're detracting from your own center of attention, if I can say that. The other thing is when it comes to makeup is in the editing process, it looks tiger striped or zebra striped. You've got one person that is professional, the other person, that photographer in the editing mode can't quite get them right.
Right.
Because not only are they sticking out like a sore thumb, but they're trying to go back and edit the flesh tones and try and make the eyes pop and the teeth white, and it's too much on one person. So that bridesmaid or that mom who doesn't need any hair and makeup, because that's what they tell you, but they do, that person is actually going to look even poorer in person. And I don't mean in monetary value. They're going to look not great next to all of you.
Right.
So, and it shows in that end result group photo.
Yeah.
And why did you ask them to stand up if you didn't want them to celebrate with you and look fabulous right next to you as well?
Right.
So, I mean, why require them to have this dress or
if you're not going to make sure it's,
Absolutely. And so the easiest way to ensure your photos are outstanding, and it is maybe a little controlling, I get it, as the bride, but if you just say, I'm getting everybody hair and makeup, and you forego the flasks and the robes, and all the robes are really cute. But you forego all of these other little gifts, you know, if you're on that budget. I mean, literally, you have saved yourself time, because planning takes time, but you are giving yourself an insurance policy that all of your girls are showing up, nobody's crabby, everybody's ready to go, everyone's in the same room, they're there to celebrate with you.
And not just the cost of the makeup itself, you're probably spending clearly over $1,000 on your photographer.
Sure.
Do you want to spend $1,000 on your photographer and then have those pictures not turn out how you want them because Jenny Sue's makeup wasn't good? I don't think so.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing is, again, when you're planning a wedding and you have a budget, you have to choose which items are most important to you, what you value most. So maybe it's all about the cupcakes for you, or the floral, or, you know, and maybe hair and makeup is secondary. Well, that might be true, or maybe you don't want to pay $10,000 for photography. So if you are getting that $1,000 photographer, you still need to make sure that even if the quality isn't there, that you guys are still showing up. Because my famous saying is, after the food has been eaten and the flowers have wilted, what do you have left? You have this. You have your photos. They hang on the wall for generations. And so when you're a grandmother and, you know, your second grandchild is looking at your wedding photo on the wall, we want them to say, "Oh, Granny, you're so pretty."
Aww,
and timeless and classic, not, "Did you get married in 2020? That's when Corona happened, right?" So
you look like you had Corona, Granny.
I know, right? We don't want Corona. Look, you can.
So make sure you guys call Megan and that you check her out on Instagram, because she's always posting great stuff. So that's at Makeup in the 702.
Thank you.
And, you know, make sure you reach out once you guys know your date, location, and start time.
We'd love to chat about hair and makeup.
Everybody, welcome back. I am here with Laura from Spanish Trail Country Club. So Laura.
No, easy, right?
Easy. I'm like, what if I forget her name? So Laura, tell us about Spanish Trail.
Well, first of all, thank you for asking me to be here today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we're happy to have you.
Spanish Trail is a very elegant private country club on Tropicana. We are a members-only club. However, we will allow outside events. So you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be sponsored. You just give me a call, and we will schedule your wedding with you.
And in case some people don't know what that means, some country clubs you can't get into unless you happen to know someone who lives there, and that's what you mean by sponsored, right? So that's really good news, because I mean, it is an exclusive club, but you do have the opportunity to be there, even if you don't happen to have like the foot in the door.
That's exactly right.
Very good. And
one question.
We have a question already.
That popped in, but someone said hi, Mom.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Tell her I said thank you.
So why is Spanish Trail a great place to have a wedding?
I think a lot of it has to do with my staff. We go above and beyond, and we try to make sure that every event is exclusive for each bride. If you know, I only do one wedding a day. All right, I don't do multiple weddings. I don't think I could handle the stress. But so it's that bride's day. I don't do cookie cutter weddings. It's not like the tables are all in the same spot every single time. I work with the bride and groom, and we determine the best layout for each wedding.
And that's great that there's not more than one, because it's not like you're having to kick one out of the door to get the other one in.
Exactly. You're not duking it out to use the mirrors, and you can be there as long as you like. My staff goes above and beyond to make sure that everything is right.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, and it really, I mean, of course you want a beautiful venue to get married at, but if you don't mesh with the people, then what good is it? You know,
Exactly.
So it's great that you have a great team.
Exactly.
Do you offer in-house catering and beverage options?
That's pretty much all we offer.
Okay.
Because we do have a full kitchen. We have an amazing chef. He's a Michelin star chef, Andre Rachat. He's been in Vegas for years. And so we will custom a menu specifically for the bride and groom. Obviously, I have set menus, okay?
Right.
But if there's something that they want specifically, we will make it happen.
Awesome.
If you, and vegetarians, and they're everywhere. We always have vegetarian options. We've got numerous entree options if you want to have a Viennese dessert displayed. Okay?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Every now and then you'll have a bride that has specific food requirements or, a family dish or something like that.
Right.
We talk about it, we make it happen.
And there's lots of dietary needs nowadays, too.
If you have a specific food that your family always has and they want to bring in, we make it happen. It's fine.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Tell us a little bit about the wedding packages. What do those look like? What's included?
I have two specific wedding packages that I work with. The first one is called the Happily Ever After package, and it includes your vendors. So it includes your DJ, it includes your photographer, your officiant, a small floral allowance. It includes the cake. So you don't have to zip all over town trying to find these vendors. I've already worked with these vendors, and I help make the job a little bit easier for you. And then I've also, because of the times, I've started working on a micro wedding package.
Awesome.
And it's a flat fee, and it includes your DJ, the officiant, your dinner and everything for a flat fee, and it's for 25 people or less.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's what a lot of people are doing right now.
I've noticed, yes.
Yeah, well, very good. What is the process if someone wants to start booking with you? Check out the property?
Well, the first thing is to give me a call and we schedule a tour.
Okay.
And then I take them on a tour and we go through how their day will be, while they're there, and what to expect and what their guests will expect, what their guests will see. And then from there we sit down, and if they want me to, I put together a proposal. And then we go from there. Once they've decided on a date, you just give a small deposit to hold the date, and then from there we just move forward.
And what type of limitations do you have as far as decorations and things are concerned? Can brides bring their own decor, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I work with a bunch of different vendors. If you want to drape the ceiling, that's possible. I've been hanging those beautiful Chinese lanterns from the ceiling for many years. Depending on centerpieces, if they don't want to go through a florist, I can help them, or a lot of DIY brides, and I'll put them together for them.
Very cool.
So we like to go the extra mile, and depending on what the bride wants, like I said.
Yeah, very custom. Awesome.
Very.
And so you did mention you are making a new package for with everything that's going on, but what other things are you doing because of the pandemic to help make the planning process go well and the weddings happen?
Well, right now, of course, we are limited to a maximum of 50 people.
Right.
But you're still put in the big dining room. We separate the tables. They're only set for 6. But we also add other furniture to the room, so it doesn't seem like you're this tiny little group of people in this huge ballroom.
So it's a rather large space then.
It is.
Yeah. Very cool.
And because we can fit 200 people in there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've only got 50, you might feel like you're dwarfed, but it really isn't.
But at the same time, I think we've all gotten used to having our personal space lately.
Yeah.
Like I see commercials, that were designed before all this that have people or old videos, and you're like, why are they so close to each other?
We have hand sanitizing stations everywhere. We'll separate the chairs during the ceremony. So we try to make it as comfortable for all the guests as possible.
Awesome. Do you have a special room for brides and bridal party to get ready?
I do. So because I only do the one wedding a day, a bride is allowed to come in. I mean, she can come in as early as she likes. All right. I prefer not before 8 a.m. because I'm not a morning person.
Me neither.
But if she's getting married at 4 and she wants to get there at 10 a.m., that's quite acceptable. The hair and makeup people can come straight there. Mm-hmm. We have a beautiful ladies' locker room. There's a little, a room off the side that they can sit and chill in and have breakfast, mimosas.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Mm-hmm. And so as far as where they might do accommodations, are you convenient to some hotel accommodations
Sure.
or the Strip?
Because we're on Tropicana, we're located at Trop and Rainbow, so it's a straight shot down to the Strip. So you've got the New Orleans, which I just passed on my way here. And then a little bit farther, you've got all those, all the casinos and
Yeah,
hotels
right there on
the
Las
corner.
Vegas Boulevard. Very cool. Yeah, and you were not far from where we are for our studio today.
I was really excited. I got here so
You're like,
fast.
"Whoop." Awesome. Did we have any questions?
Can we come enjoy the accommodations there?
Absolutely.
'Cause it sounds really nice. If I was a bride, I would want to go and hang out all day.
I would
Because
love
be
to have you
relaxed
guys as my guests.
before your wedding is priceless.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's
really
part of the
enjoy
reason. And that's part of the reason why I don't mind what time the brides get there.
Yeah.
And not only that, a lot of brides like to pop into the dining room to see how we're doing for setup, and sometimes they'll come in like right in the morning and there's like nothing done.
Why
And
isn't
they're
it ready yet?
they're
You're like,
what?
we still have 8 hours.
Tell them to go relax and leave.
Let me get you some champagne. We'll be fine.
But there is a question. Do you offer gluten-free options
Yes.
for your food?
Yes.
Okay. And any other options? Vegan
And as long as I know about them ahead of time, we will make it happen.
Wonderful. That sounds great.
Yeah, and so that kind of, if they missed our conversation earlier with the invitation company with Alligator Soup, that's something you can plan ahead and ask your guests in the invitation and RSVP process. You have a form in there that says, are there any allergies we need to be aware of? Do you need vegan, gluten-free, or, peanut allergies, whatever, you name it. That way you can inform your venue ahead of time, because that is a very important thing, and allergies do seem to be more prevalent nowadays. So, awesome.
That was a lot of our questions, and just that it sounds like a beautiful, beautiful place to be. So we definitely suggest coming out to visit Laura.
Well, thank you, and thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you. Well, thanks so much, Laura. We're going to cut to a commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Alligator Soup, cards, home, and stationery. Visit our full-service invitation boutique and gift shop. Let us create your made-to-order pieces for all your life events. While you're in the shop, find greeting cards, candles, gifts, frames, books, and wedding accessories. We are a proud family business who has spent almost 40 years serving the Las Vegas community. Alligator Soup. If you can dream it, we can do it. So, let's get to know Jenny.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
So, you are a wedding planner.
I am.
And what brought you into that?
I got engaged.
Oh my gosh!
So I actually started doing pageants and festivals. That was my thing. I started with the Miss Arab USA pageant in 2010, and then been with them ever since, basically doing it every year and with festivals. So when I got engaged and I started wedding planning, it was so much fun. Like, I know people get really stressed out and it's really hard for some, and there's a lot of wedding planning challenges that come with it, right? But I fell in love with it. And then I also have my really cheesy answer that I'm a complete hopeless romantic and I love love.
Right.
So to be a part of
it's
a couple's,
invigorating.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. To be a part of a couple's most important day in their life is amazing. And my couples are with me 1 to 2 years before their wedding day.
Oh,
so
wow.
by the time the wedding day comes, it's not my clients up there getting married, it's my friends up there getting married. So to be a part of that is honestly a blessing. I'm very lucky and fortunate to have this as my career.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. And what do your clients expect? Like, what can they expect to get if they book you as their wedding planner?
Yeah, so it depends on what package that they select, right? So I have 4 different packages. There's the full planning, partial planning, month of coordination, and day of coordination. So they're very custom because every couple has different needs, right? And I want to be able to exceed their expectations and making sure that I can fit within everyone's style, taste, and budget. That's really important to me. So depending on which package they select, it's going to be customized, their process with me, on what works for them. I have clients that talk to me on a daily or a weekly basis, right? And then I have some clients that just like monthly updates, And then I have other clients that are so busy with their normal work and life schedule that they really just kind of let me take the reins and do everything for them from beginning to end. They know that they can trust in me to make sure that the process is being executed fully from A through Z. So it's really dependent on the client. It's very custom. I like to make sure they're comfortable.
That's good. So you really, I mean, do you even have set packages, or do you really boil it down to what they need?
Both. So
Okay.
I do have standard packages for each package that I offer. And you can also always add to those packages as well, because no wedding is the same. No couple is the same, right? They have different wants and needs. So they can absolutely add to my standard packages, or they can just take the standard package as it is. For example, day of and month of, they're pretty standard, right? Those two packages, it's kind of more, I like to call it a wedding manager versus a wedding coordinator. I think that's a better way to describe it. But with the planning packages, yes, there is a standard package, but you can absolutely add on and make it more customized so that it's matching your needs and your wants individually.
Very cool. So does the price go up if they start way earlier, or does that just help you if they start early? You know, like in the planning.
Yeah, so I always recommend if you're going to hire a wedding planner, they should be the first vendor that you book. Before you book your venue, before you start looking at photography, get your planner on board, right? And as far as the packages go, there's the standard pricing, but if we add on services, then that's when it may increase. You know,
Because some of their the services they get for their wedding might be booked through you.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And then, you know, I have a lot of clients that are destination. So yes, I do have local clients, but I would say majority, 70%, are not local. They're domestic or they're international.
Nice.
So there's a lot of, you know, can you help me with a wedding rehearsal dinner, or a bachelor or a bachelorette party, you know, or kind of give us some ideas and an itinerary to do, because we're going to be there for 4 days and we've never been to Vegas before. Right. So depending on what it is that they want, it may increase from there, but that's definitely on a base by base.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on each client, because everyone has different needs.
Would you say it's even more important to have a wedding planner if you're coming from out of town then?
100%. I always say that it's really important to have eyes and ears here in Vegas on the scene for you, right?
Yeah.
Because I can go to your venue as many times as you want me to and take videos and take photos, and I can FaceTime you and put my phone up to my chest, you know, and walk around the venue and have you see every crevice and every corner of that space. So it's very helpful, I would say, in my opinion, to have a planner if you are not local, just to know that there's someone there that's on your team, you know?
For
you know, they're on your side, they have your back, and they always have your best interest.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to chime in here real quick. And you've answered a lot of the question in general. It's a two-part question in regards to planning and how to fit it into a budget. But where would you say it's okay to maybe decide not to have a planner versus to have a planner budget-wise? I mean, the stress alone would probably drive me up the wall trying to handle it all by myself. But, I mean, I probably would not choose not to have one. But, you know, there are the brides out there that, you know, it is a tough decision. So can you just provide just a little bit more of your personal insight? I think it's invaluable, but, you know, there is that question out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it depends on you as a couple yourself. If you're that DIY couple that wants to be involved in the wedding planning process, you can probably take care of most of the challenges on your own. That's also one of the reasons why I offer a partial planning package, because of course it's going to be a little bit more on the budget-friendly side than if I were to be doing the full wedding planning from beginning to end. But if you are someone that is really enjoying the process, then by all means, maybe a coordination package is better for you. And like I had mentioned, I like to say coordinator more as manager. It's a wedding manager, right? So we will manage and execute everything that you have planned from beginning to end. And of course, the day of and month of coordination packages are more on the affordable end versus a partial or a full planning package. So if you're DIY, if you like to be involved, I think you're going to be okay with the planning process. Also do your research, because I think a lot of people have a misconception of how much a wedding planner may cost. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You know, you have planners that go into tens of thousands, and some of them go into triple digits, and then there are some that are more on the lower, more affordable side. So definitely do your research.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that question.
Yeah.
Your niece, Casey, says hi. And she also wants to know, can you just tell the audience that they're who's watching right now the one thing that makes it what's the best part for you?
The fact that my clients become my friends. Absolutely. Like I said, when you're with me for 1 to 2 years, it's not my clients that they're getting married anymore. It's my friends up there getting married. So you end up gaining these lifelong friendships in this process. And yes, I do their weddings, but you know, you have kids and you have special occasions that go throughout your life, and birthday parties and vow renewals. So, you know, creating those relationships is the best part.
So do you plan a lot of like birthday parties and other events too then?
I do special events, yes, on certain occasions. I definitely focus more on weddings. That is my niche. That's what I love to do. But I do special occasions. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for return customers, I'm sure.
100.
Yeah.
I will never tell a return customer no. Absolutely not.
Aw, that's wonderful. And then last question here, and I believe you did talk about it just for a quick minute, but do you do destination out of the States as well?
So
yes.
Leaving Vegas then.
Leaving Vegas. Not just Vegas, I believe she means internationally. So not out of the country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do offer some travel as well, especially if it's to a country I've been wanting to go to. I'll even throw in a little discount there for you. But whenever you do travel, there is, of course, travel accommodations that need to be compensated for. I don't increase my standard pricing. I just ask that things like hotel, rental car, and airfare are covered.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, I think you kind of touched on this, but what is the difference between a coordination package and a planning package?
Oh, such a good question. So, remember when I had mentioned that a coordinator is kind of more like a wedding manager?
Mm-hmm.
So a coordinator is going to manage everything that you have planned from A through Z, right? We are making sure that everything that you've envisioned and have spent the last year or two planning gets executed the way that you have been planning for it to. We also do things like very detailed timelines when you have a coordination package. So my timelines are very detailed. They're like 3 to 4 pages, but a lot of it is behind the scenes stuff. You know, couples get intimidated by making timelines and they're like, why is there something to do?
But they're very important.
Every 20 minutes. Yes, because your photographer every 20 minutes needs to know where you're going to be so that they can capture the right photos. Your DJ needs to know where you're going to be so they know when to play those specific songs.
At my wedding, they accidentally started the toast before the wine was poured. So that's things that the timeline help make sure don't happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why they're so detailed. With the planning package, whether you decide to do partial or you decide to do full, a planner is going to help you with your budget, help you book your vendors, negotiate, you know, making sure we're securing those contracts for you. So a planner plans.
Okay,
a
so
coordinator manages.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that was a lot of really good details. I hope that our audience will reach out to you and hopefully hire you as a planner or coordinator, depending on what kind of bride they are. So that's really great. Thank you so much, Jenny.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
And what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
So I have my email address, info@eventsbyjenny.com. You can also book for a consultation right on my website.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. We will be have a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Memory Lane Video.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him.
Hi everybody, welcome back. I am here with John Sanchez from Memory Lane Video, and I hope that that video you guys just watched was the perfect lead-in for this company because they are just so innovative and make amazing cinema. So we're going to hop right into it. John, I want you to tell me what are the must-haves of wedding and why is cinema a must-have?
Must-have, well, I'm going to share a little story here that happened over the summer. So over the summer, I went to Florida to visit a friend of mine, and I filmed his wedding back in 2009. And when I was there, just over the summer, they brought out that video. I started watching it. Now, his wife's brother passed away about 3 years ago. And in that video is the brother acting corny and goofy like was. So of course, you know, they were sad about it, but they were so thankful that they had a video to show this.
Yeah.
I've heard over the years that thank you for, you know, the video, you know, we lost our father or an aunt or uncle, and everyone was you know, thankful that they had a video of their loved one. So yes, when we give you your wedding film, you'll be ecstatic about it, but it probably becomes more and more important as people come and go out of our lives.
Yeah, that is such a perfect example. And Memory Lane did my wedding film, and it is going to be 10 years this April. And I mean, this year has gone by so fast, so it feels like it was just our 9-year anniversary, but it has always been our tradition to watch our full film on our anniversary day. And I didn't realize how important that tradition was to me until this April. We wanted to watch it with our 5-year-old son, and I could not find my DVD. And I was like, I wanted to cry because it's such an important part of like our ritual as a couple that we like relive those memories every year. Fortunately, because I am with Bridal Spectacular and my wedding was publicized, I was able to watch a couple of the videos on YouTube. But I'm sure I'll find it, don't worry. But yeah, it's like, it's vital, and I am so glad that I have those memories. And fortunately, well, I do have one family member who has passed since then, who does show up in my video, but like my parents are still here. But I know it really, you're right, it will become even more important to me as those people start to leave my life. And
Exactly.
I don't even want to think about it.
I know, I felt so bad when I saw, but how then after the video, how thankful they were that they had this, you know, I knew then it was the right thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
And how did Memory Lane come to be?
So we have been here in Las Vegas since 2003, a long time ago. Ricky and I started it back then. Back then it was just him and I.
Mm-hmm.
We've since grown. There's now a team of us. And we've been filming, I mean, there for a while, over 100 weddings a year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Everyone at Memory Lane's either UNLV film student graduate or doing something with web design or something. So
they're very experienced team.
Yes, and they all have something to contribute to the video. So even though 2 or 3 of us come out typically to film a wedding, the final wedding film the couples get from us is a combination of everyone putting their 2 cents in to give that video its polished look and feel, so to speak.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
And you also offer drone footage. So tell us how that ties into the whole wedding day and the experience of the film.
So drones, yes. We started this we got our drone in 2010, believe it or not. This drone, even before that word was around, this was a helicopter. There were no drones back then.
I remember it. It was so cool.
It was a helicopter. When the main rotor blades were folded out, it was 55 inches long. I mean, think of a lot of TVs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it weighed 18 pounds, and it had a full DSLR camera mounted to the front of it. And it took 2 people one to fly and just concentrate fly, and one to one to film, and it really was pushing the envelope back then. We practiced with that for about 6 months before we went out to film the first wedding, and of course we debuted that video at the Bridal Spectacular
Yeah,
show.
I remember the first time you put a picture of the helicopter in your ad at that time.
Yep.
Like it really stands out in my mind because it really was ahead of its time for sure. Like now drones are
common word.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of safety built into them. I mean, a modern drone now, it would be hard to fly it into a building or a tree. There's a lot of safety in it.
Yeah.
So.
But you had to really practice with that puppy.
With the old one, yeah, exactly.
So can you tell us quickly what are the different types of video services, different things that you offer throughout the wedding planning process?
So 3 things that I'll concentrate on. So our save the dates, video save the date, one was shown earlier. And then our grand entrance hype videos are really, really cool. And of course the wedding film itself, starting with the save the date, if a couple wants to do something like that, I meet with them and I encourage them to think big, go over the top. I mean, we can create a save the date where you're holding hands, walking the park with pretty flowers and Celine Dion music in the background. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you're meeting with a video company that's willing to go above and beyond to do something over the top. So some of these save the dates.
Take advantage of it.
Yes, exactly. The team that we have, we'll figure out a way to make it happen. We have done these grand entrance hype videos, everything from kind of escape room challenges was our last one to bride being rescued by her groom, kind of.
Because he was a firefighter, right?
Yeah, we had that. Yeah. That groom was a firefighter, and then we just took his job and came up with a storyline. And I happen to have some footage of a fire that he was fighting.
Oh my gosh!
8 months before they met with us. Yeah, and it was just crazy. So it was really meant to be. So I think we did one for you.
Yep,
didn't we?
you did one for me. Yeah, you helped us recreate, I think, 5 different scenes from 5 different movies, and the kind of the tagline was the Covington wedding, the love, better than any love story you've seen or whatever, because we were recreating all these love stories, and then it was our love story. So I still love watching that too.
Yeah, I watch it too. We still show it every now and then.
I almost included it on the end of this. I should have done it. I talked about it, but I didn't. Yeah. Because you already had like a bunch of like really amazing videos you'd sent me, and I didn't want to take away from those. So
no problem. Yeah.
Mine's 10 years old, but it's still so amazing. So yeah. Let's see. What should a couple expect from their video film maker experience? Is there a consultation beforehand? How does all that go?
Oh yeah, we'll meet with them, get their wedding details, itinerary, and kind of their theme, and then, just recently over the summer we filmed a wedding that was like a Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh!
And boy, the final video, it definitely has that theme going on.
Wow.
Down to the music and their costumes that they had, their wedding attire. So
did you keep that in mind with the cinema style and everything?
Oh yes,
then?
Yes, definitely got. So it was up in Mount Charleston. We got a lot of drone footage of just the trees and everything, and made it look very much like a Game of Thrones type.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So those consultations are probably especially important to you guys.
Yeah, it's our first meeting.
You personalize everything.
Yeah, couples have seen what we do online, and then they're wondering what we can do for them on their wedding day. And when they come in and meet with me, or if it's on Zoom now, then I have a variety of videos to show them of wedding films that we've done in the past that might be something similar to what they're thinking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long does it take you guys to kind of pump out that final product and get it to the couple after the wedding day?
Yes, so once we can get started, the editing is going to take about 3 or 4 weeks. The type of editing that we do is very creative, very customized to the client, and it doesn't come overnight.
Definitely not.
So just based on where we are in the year and the backlog, it can take up to 3 months, sometimes 5 months.
Wow.
It's a lot. So I every consultation after I show them what we do, Then I look them straight in the eye and say, that type of editing didn't come overnight. Based on your wedding being this day,
right,
we are probably looking at a 4-month turnaround or a 3-month. And
right.
And I always set the expectation that it's going to take them 3 or 4 months, and we typically always come in under that.
Good.
By several weeks. So, yeah.
So with that in mind, if someone wants to do something like a save the date, how far out should they plan that? Because obviously that's going to have maybe not as much turnaround time because it's not as much footage, but it still has a decent turnaround time to get that.
Yeah, great question. So those save the dates. We can, once we have the idea, we can typically film it in a day or an afternoon. The one that we showed here earlier.
With the sketch.
Yeah,
girl.
that was filmed in the morning. Believe it or not, that was filmed on a Super Bowl. I don't remember which one, but it was filmed on a Super Bowl morning.
Sunday? Wow.
Yeah, and we went out at 9 a.m. and by 1 or 2 we were done, and I think kickoff was at 3 o'clock. So,
nice.
So yeah, and then of course the editing takes a few days, maybe a week, and get it out to them.
So those have a considerably quicker turnaround so that they can get that announcement out there.
Exactly, yes.
So how far out from the actual wedding date do you recommend they start that process?
It's up to them, but
yeah.
The planning process as far as their idea, what they want to do, can take 2 or 3 weeks. And then once they like the idea and we know how we're going to do this, we're ready to film it, and typically just, less than a day.
Awesome.
It'll be done.
Well, we're running out of time for this segment, but we're going to keep you around for our Q&A at the end. So if anyone had any video-specific questions, we will be able to touch on those in a moment. But before we go to a quick commercial and come back for Q&A, what's just the best way to get in touch with you guys and start the process?
We are on all the social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Yeah, Pinterest. I don't even keep up with them all. Ricky does a great job on doing. There's so many out there I didn't even know were out there. So yeah.
So check you out on social media. Check out your website, which is mlvnv.com. Do we have anyone asking anything there?
Well, there's a great question regarding proposals. So Las Vegas, a lot of people come here, they might pop the question, and with the holidays coming, we do see more and more people getting engaged. So proposals, I've seen some great ones from you.
We just did one on Monday.
So people are actually getting a videographer for their proposal, not just the wedding itself. Is that what's going on?
Yes, and then hopefully they'll come. We'll film their wedding. But,
well, I'm sure once they get the proposal final product, they won't want to go anywhere else. Yeah. So
honestly, as with anything, planning is the key to it because there's a lot of variables. But this particular case, the gentleman wanted to get married, to propose at the Bellagio in the Flower area.
Oh, in the conservatory.
Yeah.
Okay.
So went down there, met him there, and guess what? The Flower Conservatory right now is tore apart. They're changing over for the fall, and so I'm like, I'm so glad we met here. So let's figure something out. He decided he's going to do it kind of near the fountains. Got it all out, figured out. But the thing about the proposal is, what good is the video? What good is a proposal video if you can't hear him? If you can't hear him say whatever he's to say, and then the bride answer yes. So excuse me, but his fiance answer yes.
Yeah.
So I want to mic them ahead of time, and it honestly is like a covert operation to get them away, get them mic'd up, get it filmed, and go back. So this latest one, maybe Ricky will blog it. It starts off like a military operation. You hear, and then of course he does it. It's really really cool how it comes out.
That's awesome. So you kind of have like she's moving in or whatever.
There is. So there are 2 of us, but we've even had where there are 5 of us. We've even followed a couple down the strip, and everyone's got little earpieces in their ears with radios, and I mean.
So stuff like.
It really is,
awesome.
yeah.
So that's another question. With you added into the number count for weddings, is that a concern for brides? Are you seeing
like I know the vendors count against the amount of people they can have?
You're very stealth. I've seen you behind bushes, behind chairs. Like
laying
you never know John's in the room filming until you actually get the video and you're like, wait, he was there right next to me at that time. So So can you maybe address that? Maybe a question that some people
Sure.
have.
So with this day in COVID now, we do everything we can to make it safe for everybody. So obviously we're wearing masks. We're wiping down our microphones as we hand them off to people to give interviews or whatever. It's whatever we possibly do to be safe, we're doing. Are we part of the guest count or not? I'm not really sure how that works. Each venue seems to be a little bit different, so I don't really know.
I think the hard part is some of the information that's passed down is a little unclear on those things.
Right.
So I think a lot of venues are trying to figure things out and follow the changes of rules that happen constantly to the best of their ability.
Right.
So, it is certainly something to keep in mind and probably ask your venue how they are interpreting the rules.
Yeah, it's forever evolving right now, that's for sure.
And that's the other thing
So-
is, it might be something one week and then the week of your wedding it might be something else. So we just, everyone is doing their best to make the best of the situation in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with the uncertainty that we're kind of talking about, if a bride or couple do have to, again, postpone, what's the process for you?
Yeah, sure. Let us know, and when you find your new wedding date, let us know about that, and we'll reschedule. We're working. Sure, we want them to get married within the next couple of years, but honestly, as crazy it is right now, I don't want to put any extra stress on anybody. So just keep the lines of communication open, and we'll accommodate any way we possibly can.
And
also with this, with this COVID, live streaming now has definitely come forward. So we've been doing that.
So live streaming the wedding so their guests from
live streaming
afar
the ceremony,
can watch.
correct, and so we do it on the Facebook platform, which pretty much everyone knows, even grandparents. They like to keep tabs on their grandchildren, and we're using a 360-degree camera, so the end user watching it can literally move that image left or right and look whatever direction they want. They could literally follow the people coming down the aisle if they so wish.
And they can kind of check out the audience too to see people that they were hoping to see.
And then you see them then, giving shout outs to, beautiful couple and
that's awesome.
So and so. So yeah.
I know there's a couple questions out there regarding, apparel and different types of cake exhibitors that they're looking for as well. So definitely go to our website and check out the amazing wedding pros we have listed on there.
I don't know if you guys have checked out our website since we launched the brand new one in June, but we've added a lot more features to make it easy for you guys to find what you're looking for. So if there's something you want to find, maybe as far as a theme for your wedding, like you are doing a garden ceremony, you can there's a search bar on our website. You can type garden or vintage or, gluten-free, whatever it is you need, type that in there and it'll actually bring up both vendors who specialize in that as well as blog articles that we've written over the years about those topics. So if you guys have questions, our website, bridalspectacular.com, is going to be a really awesome source for that too.
Yeah, for sure.
We are out of time for our Q&A, and we want to thank all of our vendors who were here again. We had RSVP Party Rentals, Alligator Soup, Gagiano Studios, Spanish Trail Country Club, Events by Jenny, Makeup in the 702. We had a nice little message in there from Paper and Home, and of course Memory Lane Video. And don't forget to visit bridalspectacular.com. We have a great event page on our website where you can keep up to date with the events we're having, such as this one right here. We hope to be back in December, possibly, for another episode of Spectacular Weddings Live. So thank you everyone for coming. Thanks for being here. And we hope you guys got some great tips and ideas.